If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Yo, Scott.
Hey.
I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Oh, you know what? I was just in there. The line is like 10 people long.
You know, I think I'll just...
Dude, are you okay?
You wouldn't believe what I was just thinking. I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this, and I will take that ride home.
Smart man.
Did you see how the dog was looking at me?
You're blind. You're trying to escape from here, aren't you? I want to see how far you can make it before your head is chopped off. Good luck not getting killed.
When you want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. There's a reason that Makoni Setup Shop is trusted by more virtual and real-world tracks and companies than any other setup shop in iRacing. With partners such as Stafford Motor Speedway, the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, Five Flags Speedway, Speed 51, and more. When you want something done right, you go to the experts at Makoni Setup Shop.
With setups available for most series on both asphalt and dirt, built by a team of professional builders consisting of some of the top talents on the service, Makoni Setup Shop LLC has what you need to hit the track with confidence. Head over to MakoniSetupShop.com and learn why Makoni Setup Shop is the official setup shop of Richmond Raceway Esports and is partnered with some of the largest names in virtual and real racing.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Daytona Dash at New Smyrna Speedway, located in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, for Round 2 of Season 2 of the Dallara X-TREME Series. In the real world, New Smyrna sees on-track action from the NASCAR Modified and Late Model divisions, but tonight, the drivers in the Dallara X-TREME Series will tackle the track in the Dallara IRO1. Pull-up race infographic. Tonight, the IRO1s will be running around the half-mile track in a heat racing format that will end in a 60-lap sprint race for the feature. The 18-degree bank corners, along with a large amount of downforce from the car, will allow for lap times of under 12 seconds. In qualifying, the two drivers with the best 4-lap average time will advance to the feature, with the rest of the field taking part in the 4-car heats. From the heats, the top 2 finishing cars move on to the feature race, with the bottom 2 cars moving down to the consolation race. From the consolation race, the winner will move into the feature race for a total field of 13 cars in the feature. Following Chris Graham for his lap time. He's going to be the first one to take a time. Yep, so it is a 4-lap average here. So his average lap time is going to be, looks like a 12:32. Pull a little bit loose off 4 right there. This track is incredibly difficult in these cars. These cars on the short tracks really just want to push up and kind of go up into the wall, so you really want to set the car up loose, especially for qualifying, but it is tough to handle, as you saw him hit the grass over there. That may invalidate the 4-lap average touching the grass. Oh, there you go. Might as well use the time to your advantage. At least till the car runs out of gas. So joining me tonight is going to be Benjamin Combs. Now, he was telling me he was running some practice laps earlier in this race. I have no experience at this track in these cars, but maybe Ben can tell you a little bit about what this track is like in these things.
It's wild. Thank you guys for having me. Yeah, it's wild. It's a thrill. Getting out here in these cars. It's crazy. It's fast. It's got many different lanes you can run that are effective. So yeah, I'm excited to see this DXS race, the Daytona Dash.
Yeah, I was watching a little bit in practice. There, you can run either the high line, low line. I expect to see lots of side-by-side racing tonight. It doesn't look like anyone's on track yet. I'm curious if some of the drivers are waiting a little bit, trying to get the track temp to come down a little bit to try and maximize their lap times. But if you do wait too long, you're going to lose out on all your qualifying time. You got to remember, these drivers have to get full 4 laps in. Yep. So for qualifying tonight, we have Derek Love and James Finch advancing to the feature. Going down, Timothy D. Watson and Wes Shire. Then goes, excuse me, my telemetry is acting a little silly. Gotcha. So for the first heat, we're going to have Timothy, Wes, Cullen, and Christopher Graham going around the track. It'll be an 8-lap feature. Or 8-lap heat race. I apologize.
Yeah, it'll be 20 laps here. I'm excited to see this heat format. You love to see it. You love to see it. I'm looking for James Watson to do well tonight. But yeah, let's get going here. I noticed last week at the fairgrounds the high line was better for restarts, so let's see if it prevails tonight as well.
Pace cars in. Timothy Watson taking the inside line. Wes taking the outside line. Green flag is out, and we're ready to go. Timothy taking an early lead. They're all going to be single file for now, but I do not expect that to last very long around this track. Wes closely follows in second. The gap is only down to about 1.5 tenths. Cullen already into the grass on the front straightaway. Timothy into the wall on the I side. Wes is going to go down to the bottom, try and take the lead from him. Can he make the move work? They're still side by side down the front straightaway.
High move work. Oh no, he gets the
Three
wall.
wide. Ooh, contact down the back straightaway. That's going to be Timothy D. Watson and Christopher Graham. Chris Graham looking to go to the pit lane.
All those marbles up there had to catch him out.
2 cars still on track. Wes Shire with a huge lead over Timothy. It looks like he's going to be uncontested for this heat race. He's going to move right up to the feature along with Timothy. Top 2 cars do move immediately up to the feature.
Yeah, right now it's just head down, finish the race. You know you're in. Just take it easy.
Yeah, Chris Graham and Colin Johnson, they're going to have to fight their way through the consolation race. However, if Wes or Timothy were to make a mistake during this heat race, it would allow Chris or Colin to come back up through the field and try and take the lead of this one and try and move themselves up.
You know, 2 laps down, that's going to be hard to come back from, especially when you're clipping off laps here at under 12 seconds. Be interesting to see.
Wes just looks absolutely flawless out there. It doesn't look like he can make a mistake tonight.
Oh yeah, he's comfy.
Yeah,
Stretching his legs a little.
That car just looks on rails. I see the yellow tires on that car. It looks like he opted to take the medium tires for this race. So we have 3 combat tires here in the Dallara X-TREME Series. You can either run the hards, mediums, or soft for these 20-lap heat races. Mediums seem to be the way to go. They'll wear out right towards the end of the race. The softs are too soft. They'll go out after about 5 or 10 laps. And then the hards, I think... Oh, Wes is pitting. His lap times were off. I'm curious what he's trying with this strategy.
Let's
He might just be having fun now.
Yeah, yeah. Be interesting to see why he went in. Maybe he clipped the wall somewhere.
Car's back in the ground. I did not see a tire change on that car. I wonder if he forgot to put the race setup on, still had qualifying fuel in the car, and was running out of fuel.
You know, that is possibly what happened. I've done it before.
Timothy now in the lead. He is just clicking off laps like, I don't even know. He is setting off fast lap times. Currently, his best lap time is a 12.51. Wes's best lap time is a 12.19. Wes is running a little bit of a faster lap. However, he's still a lap down. He has to make it past Timothy, not once, but twice. Wes actually just set the fastest lap of the race at a 12.12. So he's ticking off lap times about half a second faster than Timothy.
Using that fresh rubber to his advantage. But let's see if we can catch up to him here.
White flag is in the air for Timothy Watson. It's not going to be a chance for Wes. However, he still will finish second and move up to the feature race. Timothy almost getting into the wall out of turn 2. He's just got to make it around one last time out of turn 4 cleanly. Timothy Watson is going to win heat race number 1 tonight. So your running order for heat race number 1 is going to be Timothy, Wes, Chris Graham, and then Cullen Johnson. Timothy doing a little bit of a post-attenuator party, missing the attenuator, but still hitting the inside wall to celebrate this race. So for heat race number 2, we're going to have James Watson, James Curtis, Mackenzie Glida, and Bill Walker. This is a real strong field. I've looked at Curtis in other series. He is incredibly fast, so I'm curious to see what he can do. I haven't seen him race a lot in this series, but I know he's fast at anything. James Watson, of course, Season 1 champion. He is an absolute pro in these cars, so it's going to be a tight race between those two. I think the bottom 2 are pretty much setting themselves up to just go to the consi at this point, unless these two front cars manage to bin it early in this one. So, Wes, we saw you have to pit during that first heat race. What happened there?
Well, you see, I pulled a Sobner and didn't put race fuel in.
That's what we'd guessed it at. We didn't see a tire change or anything, but you were still setting off fast lap times. You were about half a second quicker than Timothy, so hopefully we can see you in the feature moving on up.
Yeah, I'd like to, but that was purely because I ran mediums.
Aw. Lights are out on the pace car. They will be taking the green flag this time by. Pace car pulling into the pits. And the green flag is out for heat race number 2 of the Daytona Dash.
They both get great starts.
Yeah, I was going to say, both of them, both James is off to an early lead, but they're still real closely knit together. James Watson getting up into that area off turn 4. There's a little bit extra room, but not very much up there.
See James Curtis on the high side searching for some clean air.
Yeah, clean air is very, very important in these cars. These huge wings punch a huge hole, and if you're falling behind someone, there's no air to push down on your wings, so you want to move out of the way and try and find somewhere else to make your car nice and sticky.
Where they don't go. So yeah, James Curtis is making that middle line work. He's hanging in there on the gearbox.
As you say, James Watson trying to break the draft at such a small track. It's not something I've seen very often before, but these cars are like unlike anything else that raced at the Speedway. James Curtis still, I don't want to say reeling him in, but he is sticking with them. I mean, James Watson has been unable to just break away and check out.
Absolutely. This track reminds me of Nashville Fairgrounds a bit, and last week James Curtis just had it covered. High line, low line, anyone you wish. So let's see if he can have those same results here and at the Daytona Dash. Oh, good run off 2.
So you say this is exactly what Bill Walker wants to see. He actually just said, James Curtis into the wall in the front stretch. As I was saying, this is what Bill Walker wants to see. He had just set the fast lap of the race the lap before. James Curtis into the wall. He is now in a transfer spot for the feature. What an absolute move. Yep, so we can see James Curtis. He is looking underneath James Watson, just seems to dip into the apron a little bit, pushes the car up into that outside wall, and unfortunately he ended up in victory lane, but not how he wanted to be.
Looks like that.
Bill
Looked
Walker
like that
now.
dirty air got him.
Yeah. Bill Walker now about 3.5 seconds back from James Watson. Doesn't look like he's going to have anything for him this race, but he's going to be starting right on the right behind James Watson for the feature race. So hopefully he's got something for him in that one. James seems to have checked out for this one, as he just set the fastest lap in the race for the second lap in a row at a 12.05.
Yeah, that's bad for the rest of the field. James out here looking this comfortable.
Yep. James actually about to lap McKenzie. McKenzie letting him by. McKenzie actually looked like he got into the wall out there. Yep. So here we see McKenzie just trying to let James by, just gets into that outside wall and unfortunately bounced him to the inside. He gets to say hello to the spectators in the infield tonight.
Yeah, he was trying to do the right thing. It's unfortunate for him.
It is very, very difficult at these short tracks to let people by with how fast these cars are going. It's not like a modified where a lap takes 14, 15, 16 seconds and the cars are going slow enough to where you can move out of the way. In these cars, we're going almost 180 miles an hour around this track. I mean, if these cars were actually to try and race this track, I think insurance would say no before they even let the cars pull up to the track on the trailer. White flag is in the air for James Watson. He just has to make it around one more time, and he guarantees himself a spot in this feature race. Coming around turns 3 and 4, looks clean so far, just kissing that apron, coming back around. James Watson is going to take the checkered flag in heat race number 2. Bill Walker coming around now. Bill Walker is going to take checkered flag as well. So for heat race number 3, it looks like we have Sebastian Kinder, Christopher Kresge, and Chad Irvine. Chad Irvine in what looks to be a chicken nuggets car tonight. I don't know if he's sponsored by McDonald's or Chick-fil-A. That is one interesting paint scheme we're seeing here.
Yeah, it's making me hungry.
So Derek, you're a pole sitter tonight. Tell us how you did it.
We just put in some work, running a few laps around here. Really worked on the setup and put it to everyone.
Oh, there you go. Hopefully you can check out tonight and just get yourself a win, because that car looks real fast.
Yeah, we installed some caution lights on the back of it this time for any pacing under caution, so we don't get ran over. That's the plan. Keep it out front and just cruise around.
Yeah, I would recommend taking some cues from Team Watson Racing, painting the rear part of your car just bright neon green so it's real easy to see.
I think I'm going to have to take that cue there.
Well, good luck tonight.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks much.
Yep, lights are out on the pace car. Pace car is going to be coming down into the pits this time. Pace car is in. And green flag is out for heat race number 3. Looks like Sebastian Kinder takes an early lead. They are going to be single file, real tight. Sebastian Kinder just kisses the wall. Looks like Kresge's going to look towards his inside. Slight contact made, no harm, no foul. Everyone's wings are still on the vehicles. Chad Irvine just sitting calmly in third. He's going to take a step back, just watch them get into each other a little more, hoping he can just move his way up by them wrecking. So, Sebastian Kinder hasn't had real good luck at these short track heat races. In season 1 at Nashville, actually, it was me that ended up rear-ending him in both the heat race and the feature race, taking him out of both of those. And then last week at Nashville, he got rear-ended by James Watson. So he's continuing the streak, but he still seems to be in the lead for this one.
Sebastian looks comfortable as well. He's using different lines through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's interesting. I haven't seen anyone else do that. Seems to be quick though.
Yeah, Sebastian Kinder, his best lap time so far is a 12.48. Half a second off the best lap time of the race 4, but the weather might have changed, or he might just be pacing himself, just making sure he gets the win. No need to push the car right now. Sebastian Kinder setting the fastest lap of this heat race at a 12:41. Christopher Kresge following very shortly behind. His last lap time was a 12.57.
Kresge's hanging in there.
Yep. Looks like Sebastian Kinder is slowly pulling away from Christopher Kresge with about halfway remaining in this race. It does look like Chad Irvine just may have hit the wall coming out of turn 4.
Chad looks... right in the attenuator there.
It looks like we might have had another incident of people possibly drinking too much before the race and just forgetting to put the race setup on. I mean, it's a race car. You got to put fuel in it, guys. We're not Formula E over here, but you know what? It happens. Why don't we pull Chad in and ask him exactly what happened there? So, Chad, what exactly happened there to you?
So, I was trying to have an attenuator party a little too early, and it just didn't happen to work out.
Well, it happens to the best of us, man. I've done it before at Indy, and I've done it at a bunch of other tracks, so hopefully you can come back from it, get back into the feature race, and hopefully not hit it again until the checkered flag comes out.
Well, I was surprised I got the meatball flag. I just barely tapped the wall on the exit of 4 a lap before that, and just didn't seem to work out. But hey, we're here. We're having a great time. This is what I love about DSX, man. We're just all here to just have some fun. Number 69 Chicken Nugget Machine looking great out there.
I was gonna ask you, what kind of paint scheme are you running?
It's popcorn chicken, baby.
Oh, well, it looks delicious, making me a little bit hungry. But
way too many laps down. For some reason, I got a pit road speeding penalty, even though I never got into pit road. So,
actually, I'm looking at it right now. It does look like the attenuator is after the yellow commitment cone. So, unfortunately, it will give you pit road speeding
that is
penalty.
garbage, if you ask me. That's terrible. Come on, iRacing, fix that.
So we see Sebastian Kinder is actually approaching the white flag. Half a lap to go to the white flag, and then we'll have one more time to go back around. Oh, it looks like Sebastian is getting taken over by the French internet. He does take the white flag. He is in the lead, coming down the backstretch. Almost a heartbreaker for him. Coming back around turns 3, turns 4. He's going to make it around safe. He is going to take the checkered flag in heat number 3, followed closely by Christopher Kresge and Chad Irvine.
Yeah, Sebastian had full control over that race, start to finish. Dominant performance.
So it does look like all 13 cars are going to advance. It's going to be a big field. I'm expecting to see a handful of cautions. I'm not going to lie to you and say it's going to be a perfectly clean race. But hopefully they can put on a good show for us. We see a ton of battles at the front. And I do expect lap traffic to become a big part of this. Ben, what do you think?
Is it ever a completely clean race? Just a question. Food for thought. But I worry about netcode with so many people out here. And watching these races last week, I saw that netcode could be a problem. So with 13 drivers, you know, we're going to have to see.
I'm thinking netcode shouldn't be too big of an issue. However, we do have drivers from all over the world in this series. Sebastian Kinder specifically, he's racing all the way in France. He's 6 hours ahead of us on the East Coast right now. He's racing almost at midnight to come join us, so we thank him for that. But unfortunately, due to being so far away, netcode is an issue you got to watch with him. So, I'm just getting word from the race control that Track State has been, they have worked the track back in. They've cleared off the marbles off it, so that high line is going to be an option, at least for the early part of this race, and hopefully later in the race too.
Yeah, be happy to hear that. Looks like that high side is going to play a big part in tonight's race, not only for getting momentum to make a move going down the front and back straight, but to get clean air on the nose of the car and get it to run well.
Yeah, clean air is a huge thing at these tracks, especially with the amount of air these cars actually move. DW's vortex theory would come into huge play at these tracks. I mean, I don't really believe it with NASCAR so much at the bigger tracks like Daytona and Talladega, but these cars at such a small track, I'd be worried about them causing a tornado that takes out most of New Smyrna. So to conclude our warm-up before the race, Timothy Watson and James Curtis both setting lap times of 12.11. They seem to be the two fastest in warm-up. Everyone else just seems to be messing around, just having a good time, trying to loosen themselves up before this race gets underway. As you see, Christopher just bouncing around that Duracell car. He almost needs the Energizer Bunny to come up from somewhere and get him off that track, because that car does look like it's out of a charge.
Looks like most drivers are on the white wall tires, so the hard compound. That's interesting to see.
Yep. So we have 3 sets of tires you can use for DXS. The hard tires are the preferred compound just because of how hot you get these tires. It's very easy to overheat the softer compounds. Hopefully we see maybe a late race caution that causes some of these guys to, especially in the back, to try and consider, maybe is it worth it to throw the mediums on? Or even if we have a green-white checkered, is it worth it to throw the softs on? Try and make some big moves before that white flag comes out. So our starting order for tonight is going to be Derek Love, Timothy Watson, James Finch, Sebastian Kinder, Bill Walker, Christopher Graham, Chad Irvine, James Watson, Wes Shire, Christopher Kresge, Matt Galida, James Curtis, and then Cullen Johnston.
If the heat races are indicative of how this race will go, I'm excited.
Chuck Harder saying, let's go, Derek Love. No Punterino. I assume, Chuck, you've been probably Punterino'd by Derek a couple times. I believe I have once or twice. I mean, he's a very, very fast dude. But when you go to block him, some things can happen. As always with NASCAR Race Network, first lap will be yours. So Derek Love off to an early lead. He did set the pole time. He is he's about 2/10 faster than the whole field right now. I expect to see him just pull away, try and check out with this, and hope there are no yellows throughout the course of this race. The field looks to be about single file right now. Right now, Sebastian Kinder and James Watson are in a huge tango. James Watson looking to get around Sebastian. Possibly a little bit of contact there. James having to check out of it. Wes is going to pass him on the high side. Sebastian possibly not too happy about that one, especially after getting taken out by James just last week.
It's hard to tell if that's James Watson or Dylan Hart Sr. Can't tell.
Yeah, James is the intimidator of this series. I mean, he won the championship last season. He knows how to drive these cars. But these short tracks, it's hard not to be aggressive. I mean, you got to make moves. It's really hard to pass. So when the door opens, you got to take it and slam it back shut, or you're not getting in. Wes Shire, I see him bouncing around a lot, trying to look for at least somewhere where there's clean air, trying to make a move on James, possibly double overtake James and Sebastian, but Sebastian looks to be just settling out in the front of that battle.
They're still holding the spot pretty well.
Christopher Kresge and Cullen Johnson fighting for the 8th position. Looks like Kresge's taking a little bit of a higher line, cutting back down on the exit, where Cullen Johnson just taking a more traditional line throughout the middle of the corner. Gonna look for the crossover. Coming down the inside, Cullen Johnson is going to take the position from Christopher Kresge.
Nice move. Power move by Cullen Johnston there.
And that was a textbook pass, especially for this series. We don't see very many of those just because these are not textbook cars on these kind of ovals. So it's always fun to see these guys figuring out how to race these cars and really get down with it. So we cut. Derek Love now, our race leader, coming up on lap traffic. Hopefully he can slice and dice his way through them and try and lap some cars, put some cars lap down, further secure himself that victory.
Yeah, you bringing up lap traffic. Maybe that's why Cullen was trying to booger off a little.
So we see Mackenzie Glida letting him by nice and easy. Chad Irvine, I feel like, might be a little bit harder to pass just because Chad, he's in this series for fun. He's not running entirely for points, so he's got nothing to lose by trying to fight the leader in the lead lap. Sebastian Kinder and James Watson still fighting extremely hard. Looks like we have a 4-car battle for the 4th position as we see Mackenzie Glida into the wall in front of the pack. Does not look
like-
like they have a caution on the Speedway just yet. Now, you do have to remember, for the Dallara X-TREME Series, a single car incident does not end up in a caution. So as long as they are safe off the track and out of the way before the leaders come by, there will be no caution, no issue. As we see right in the beginning, Sebastian Kinder getting thrown up into the wall.
Kinder.
So we cut to Chad Irvine's replay. Trying to get an idea of just what happened here. Looks like Chad trying to come down to the pits, locks up the rear tires, and cuts in front of Sebastian Kinder, sending him and Wes Shire into the wall. Wes Shire going to look to avoid it. I'm curious if we can get an in-car view from Wes Shire and see exactly what happened from his perspective. So here we see Wes going down the backstretch, has no idea anything's about to happen, sees the tire smoke, just nothing he can do. He actually looks like he got rear-ended before he got sent into the wall.
One thing I will say, testing these cars earlier at this track, the apron is treacherous. So you carry a little bit too much speed. That is an unfortunate consequence of what can happen there.
Looks like Bill Walker is going to try and come down the pits, maybe get himself a fresh set of tires on that car. Actually, it looks like everybody is pit. Some people waiting for the following lap. I apologize, I did not see that due to the replay. Looks like first out of the pits, James Finch actually beats out Derek Love coming out of the pit, so it'll be interesting to see him try and fight. Oh, it looks like Mackenzie Glida had a little bit of an issue coming out of the pits. Just seems like he stopped and wonder if there's something wrong with that car. Maybe they didn't fix it all the way. I mean, sometimes the pit crew on iRacing is a little bit of a slacker and doesn't want to fix the car thoroughly.
Maybe he used his fast repair earlier, and sometimes when you get that suspension damage, there's nothing really you can do. Even if you sit there, lose some laps trying to get it repaired, the suspension damage knocks the toe out. It's not a good night.
Yeah, let's see if we can get a word with Chad Irvine and see exactly what happened tonight. So Chad, explain what happened over there.
So I'm not used to pitting off the back straight here, so I tried cutting down too early because that's what league rules stipulate. And unfortunately for me, that involved me hitting the grass and spinning back onto the track. I feel terrible to everybody that collected them. That is awful.
That'll be all right. We do have a backup car in the series, so everyone will make it on bias. We're coming back down to the green flag. Derek Love is going to take the green. He is in the lead now. Looks like James Finch looking towards the outside. Watch, cars up. Oh, James Finch getting double whammy. He gets sent up into the air. And
Looks like that was James Curtis that got him for the second time.
Looks like that might have been Timothy Watson going into the infield. So it looks like James just looking on the high side, just trying to get something. Derek comes up just a little bit. They make contact, and unfortunately, it looks like it might take James Finch out of contention for this race win, but Derek Love's car does not look that bad. I think he might be able to still continue on. He's going to have some fighting to do to get back up in this field, but he is not down and out. So here we're going to watch the in-car of Timothy Watson. Looks like he actually gets involved with James Watson. They are not related, by the way, and just looks like he ends up in the catch fence saying hi to the spectators on their RVs. So here we got the onboard with James Finch. It just looks like Derek came up just maybe trying to block off a run, and unfortunately, wads up both cars.
Yeah, it seems to me that Derek dives in trying to late apex the corner, but the back tries to overtake the front a little. He saves it and drifts up the track and gets into him a little bit there. So I just kind of think that that's a racing incident. But nevertheless, it still stings.
So now there's only 8 cars on the lead lap. Derek Love being the last car on the lead lap. Wes Shire actually the first car, not 1 lap down, but 2 laps down. We currently do not have a car 1 lap down. Wes should be getting waved around on this caution. He'll end himself up back 1 lap down.
At least half the field has had to use a pass from here.
Our biggest mover of the race so far is your current race leader, Cullen Johnston. He is up 11 spots from where he started. He had a tough break early on in this race, but he's up here now. He's leading. He's happy. So I hope to see him go on and fight some more with Kresge, because him and Kresge have been putting on a really, really good show for us. Right behind them is Chris Graham. Chris Graham and Kresge both up 6 spots. It seems this race has just been shaken up with that incident. I mean, it took out the top 2 cars and Sebastian Kinder and James Watson. So I'm curious to see those Fast 4 try and make it back up the field and see if they can get themselves a win or maybe wad up some more race cars. Nobody knows. Lights are out on the pace car. We're going to go green this time by.
Nobody knows, but Cullen has shown speed tonight, so I'm interested to see what he can do with some clean air as we go green here.
Pace car is in. Cullen Johnston taking a really, really great start. He's off like a bullet out of a gun. As Christopher Kresge struggles to keep up on the start. Let's see if he can catch back up.
Wow, Cullen got an amazing start.
Christopher Graham sitting here in 3rd. He is... Oh, it does not look like Christopher Graham has a rear wing on that car. It looks... Yeah,
yes, he does not.
I'm curious how he's going up. Sebastian Kinder into the outside wall. And James Watson getting into the outside wall as well. It just looks like James gets into Sebastian again. Sebastian loses it, and so does James. I mean, taking out Derek Love as well. Those are some of our fastest cars getting taken out of this race. I mean, it's almost like a repeat of last week with James and Sebastian. Those 2 guys are teammates, too. I'm curious how the after-team discussions are going to have to go at it after this one. So we're on board with Derek Love here, just seeing what he saw during this incident. Just looks like he had somewhere to go there, but James Watson just ended up blindsiding him and send him into catch fence. Unfortunately, there's no spectators sitting right outside of that one for him to say hello to.
Yeah, I know too well about the whole closing up too quick. You find it in a wreck, you shoot for it, you think you got it, and you just get nicked. But yeah, you were bringing up earlier that it's hard to get out of the way. Maybe if you're letting someone by, leader by. I think with the wing missing there on Chris Graham's car, it kind of caused the stack up maybe, and that caused James to get into Sebastian. Still unfortunate, like you said, teammates, part of the team I'm on. So I'm interested to see what they're talking about after the race.
Now, Ben, like me, you're also a part of Team Watson Racing. How do those team orders kind of go after the race is finished and 2 teammates end up wrecking each other? Because I have not been a part of that just yet, but you've been on the team a little longer than I have.
A lot of tension, but we like to pride ourselves in being a team. So yeah, we try to work it out. But hey, man, it's racing, team orders or not. So yeah. I love Sebastian and James, but they always seem to find each other on track.
Yeah, they seem to get into each other, and those are 2 very, very fiery guys. I mean, after they wreck, they like to really get into it, especially with each other. And it almost sitting from the outside, it's very comical to listen to, but it definitely sucks to be in their shoes. Both me, Benjamin, Connor, everyone here, we've all been in those shoes. So it really sucks for those two. Currently, we have 5 cars in the lead lap. Currently, Cullen Johnston, Christopher Kresge, and Bill Walker make up your top 3. Curtis and Graham follow to make up your top 5. Wes Shire back down to only 1 lap down. He will get the lucky dog if we do get another caution. And he will make it back up to the lead lap, start fighting for a race win again. Lights are out in the pace car. Pace car is going to be coming in this time. Pace car is in, getting ready to go back to green, and green flag is out. Cullen Johnston back out with another huge lead.
Clean Air's king.
Yeah, I was going to say, I almost wonder if Cullen's got a bottle of nitrous or something hidden up under the seat, and he just keeps hitting it every time he goes on these restarts. That seems to be where he's doing the best.
It's nitrous when you got V10.
James Curtis, another one of our really, really fast drivers. He's in the 3rd spot. He's going to try and make some moves on Christopher Kresge here. Both these drivers do race together in TNT, and I believe they both race in RIL as well. I mean, these guys know each other, know how each other races, and so I expect to see them really get into it with each other.
Yeah, James Curtis hungry for that 2nd win in a row.
Looks like James looking towards the inside. Doesn't seem like he's going to have something just yet, but he does end up making it work. Clears Christopher Kresge. I apologize.
What a move. Use
Bill
the apron.
Walker getting Kresge as well. Kresge back down to the 4th position. Bill Walker making it up to 3rd. What a move for this guy. I mean, all he's got to do is just pass James Curtis and Cullen Johnston. He's got in the lead. Now, that not to take away from either of those two guys. It is not going to be an easy task, but Bill Walker can be the man to do it. I mean, he's got a real fast race car tonight. He is sticking right with
quiet night. But sometimes that's what you need. Nice quiet night. Work your way through the field. Keep the nose clean.
James Curtis closing the gap on Cullen Johnston. He's got it down to about 0.3 of a second, closing it even further. I mean, I expect to see a pass made here soon. I mean, clean air is king, and James Curtis is going to want that lead. Cullen Johnston looks like he's trying to break the draft going down that back straightaway. I mean, I didn't think drafting would be a huge thing if the track's as small as this one is, but it seems like it really is. I mean, if it's worth it enough to try and break the draft going down the straightaways, then these guys are really struggling with it. Cullen Johnston building up the gap. Oh, what a huge move down the inside to cut that draft off. Gap is now back up to about 0.4 of a second, so. Looks like Wes Shire has had an incident. We're on board with Wes right now. Looks like he's just trying to avoid Chris Graham getting into the grass, inside wall. Oh, that's going to be real unfortunate for him. Hopefully he can make it back all right. However, I don't see much of a front wing on that car.
Not a lot of room here at New Smyrna.
Back to Cullen. That gap has shrunk back down to 0.3 of a second. These guys are really going to start getting into it soon. I mean, it's inevitable at this point. These two guys both want to win. James Curtis wants a 2nd win in a row, so he's going to do everything he can to get it.
Like the way Cullen is driving here. He's using his car without blocking to take the air off of James Curtis' car, and that is very, very hard to do. Defending like this, as the driver behind him, you might get a little bit upset, but you have to put yourself in the other person's shoes. Would you do the same thing? And most of the time, the answer is yes.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to do everything in your power to keep the lead. I mean, the Dallara X-TREME Series, when we were testing before the series even started, is where the term the bizzle came from. You've probably heard it plenty of times here on the National Racing Network. But with these cars, the moves come up so fast, you really just got to move down and try and cut off a run. Some may say it's dirty, but as long as you make that move before the following driver makes his move, it is perfectly okay. As we have a car spinning through the infield, that looks to be Chris Graham. He is going to be right at the exit to pit lane. He is in perfect spot to just run down pit lane, grab that backup car, and continue down track. Cullen Johnson looks like he's getting a little bit loose off of turn 2. White flag is coming out this time by. Going to have a huge battle here.
We're going to hold on to it.
Cullen's car has looked just a little bit loose here tonight. And Cullen Johnson is going to take the win. James Curtis follows. Bill Walker topping out your top 3, finishing in 3rd. Christopher Kresge crossed the line. Chris Graham, unfortunately, not crossing the line in 5th. However, he will finish in 5th place. 6th place is going to be Derek Love. 7th is going to be Wes Shire. 8th is going to be James Watson. Sebastian Kinder finishing 9th. And James Finch in 10th to round out your top 10.
What a drive by Cullen.
Yeah,
It looked like he had pace, but once he got that clean air, like we were talking about, he took off.
Yeah, clean air is king, especially in these open wheel cars. You see it a lot in the IndyCar series where whoever's in front is really, really difficult to pass. We've seen that a lot with Scott Dixon, obviously. But here in these cars, it's especially more important with these short tracks. You need every ounce of downforce you can get. And Cullen Johnson proved that tonight after Derek Love and James Finch, your top 2 qualifying, ended up crashing. It gave Cullen the opportunity to just jump up out front and end up winning this race. Why don't we pull our 3rd place finisher in tonight, Bill Walker? So, Bill, you kind of quietly snuck your way up to 3rd place. Care to explain how you did it?
It's called avoiding all the carnage and being in the back and being the slow guy.
Oh, there you go. I'm noticing for your last lap, you had the soft tires on your car. I'm curious. In all the races I've run in this series, soft tires have seemed to be really, really difficult to take care of. What was your experience with them?
It was a complete snowplow at the end of the night, no question. The early part of the run was pretty good on them for a good long while because of all the cautions, but towards the end, it was a complete snowplow.
Yeah, they fall off real quick. I didn't expect anyone to take softs this race, but you made it work. You ended up in 3rd place. It's going to be a real good finish for you.
You know, I didn't even look at what everybody else was running. I guess just during practice, everybody else was running the soft, and it was just kind of a stupid mistake, to tell you the truth.
You might call it a stupid mistake, but I'm pretty sure that's your best finish ever in DXS. I mean, it was definitely a wild call, but you made it work. And if these wild calls keep getting you up towards the front, I think that's the way you need to go.
100%, man.
Anyone you'd care to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank Connor, the Daddy Baldwin of the DXS League, and what a great way to get started here with my first run in the league. So thank you, Connor. Thank you, everybody, all you guys who run this stuff. It's absolutely fantastic. Really, really appreciate it.
Excellent. Well, man, you have a great night. Awesome finish for you tonight.
Hey, take care, everybody.
So we're going to pull in our 2nd place finisher, James Curtis. James, you finished 2nd. It looked like you had something there for Cullen earlier on, but just towards the end, it seemed to fall off. What happened to you there?
Well, the way this track is, it's so hard to pass. So unless I was, a half second faster than Cullen, I don't think I was going to get by. I was happy with the 2nd, so I figure I'd just kind of settle in and just take P2.
Yeah, definitely a great finish for you. I mean, you were fighting him really, really hard. We were waiting for you to make that move, make that dive bomb. I mean, you were just right there. It was fantastic to watch.
I wasn't going to dive bomb him, but I figure if I got in the mirror a little bit, I might try to scare him and make him make a mistake. He got a little loose there on a couple corners, but he ultimately kept it forward, kept the momentum. I really didn't have much of a chance to pass.
Yeah, well, go on.
Yeah, but after that mistake in the heat, before that, it was pretty good. I moved up from the back twice and was able to take 2nd, so not bad.
I was going to say, you made up the 2nd best positions in this race. You're up 8 spots from where you started it, so that is really impressive. I've heard from other drivers how difficult it is to pass here, and you obviously were able to get up through the field pretty well.
Well, whenever most of the field takes each other out, that really helps.
Oh, well, there you go. Is there anyone you'd like to thank for tonight?
Yeah, just thanks everybody that's out there watching. This is kind of a crazy fun series. So, you guys put on a great broadcast every single week. So just big shout out to the viewers.
Thanks very much. So we're going to pull in our race winner tonight, Cullen Johnston. So, Cullen, you came up 11 spots from where you started this race. How did you make it happen?
A lot of luck and a lot of good timing. I managed to go from 12th to 7th fairly quickly in the beginning, and then those wrecks all just kind of perfectly timed out for me. So I was in the right spot at the right time.
I was going to say, when Derek and James crashed, what was going through your head?
I was just terrified I was going to get run into or get taken out by when they all started wrecking in front of me. There wasn't much places to go here on this track, and I was still carrying quite a bit of speed.
I was going to say, you kind of just snuck by on the bottom side. Both those guys took themselves out to the high side. You just kind of crawled down there on the bottom, probably looking over, laughing at them, and you made it through pretty good.
Yes, and then James Watson and them all wrecked again under caution right after that. So in front of me too, just after going by them.
Oh man, you looked pretty unstoppable there. I mean, was it the clean air that was helping you, or did you just have a real fast race car tonight?
I think it was a combination of a fast race car, and then I had horrible track position in the beginning, and once I got out there in the clean air, it helped it even more. Though I was getting pretty loose off the corners towards the end, thinking that I was going to get caught a little bit there then.
Yeah, we saw that about 2 laps before the white flag came out. You were coming off 2, and we were all on our feet thinking you were going to wreck, but you ended up saving it, making it work out, cutting off the draft from Curtis behind you, and ended up keeping the lead and taking the white.
And then I kind of backed it off. I mean, it was the last about 10 laps. It was starting to do that if I pushed real hard, and then I had to kind of back off and find where I need to be at to not wreck.
Well, an excellent finish for you. What a great celebration you're going to have tonight. Is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, NRN and TWR are definitely the two I want to go ahead and thank you.
Oh, that's excellent, brother. You have a great night, sir.
Yep, you too.
Well, from everyone over here at the National Racing Network, Benjamin Combs, Connor Baldwin, my name is Patrick Byrne. You all have a fantastic night.